Hi, everyone. Welcome to Here for the Health of It podcast. We've got a great show for you today. We have two guests. We have Ashley Elsey and we have Kaih Taylor, and they are with Columbia Opportunity Resource, Kaih is the Talent Retention Chair. Ashley's one of the board members for CORE, and they are involved in all kinds of nonprofits, things in Columbia. If you want to meet people or you want to get some friends in Columbia, they're the people that you need to know. They're involved in nonprofits for heart health as well, and they'll have all their info there. You can click on the notes in the bio to find out all their stuff. I hope you enjoy the show. Hi, everyone. Welcome to Here for the Health of It podcast. I'm Dr. Randy, here with Dr. Tom, as always. Thanks for listening. We see you guys on our Instagram, sharing things and commenting. Keep doing that. We appreciate that. And we've got a great show today. We have Ashley. How do you say your last name for me?
Elsey.
Elsey.
Yeah.
And Kaih Taylor.
Yeah.
And before the show, Kaih was saying you're kind of intimidated by my biceps. Do you want to keep talking about that, or do you want to just go into what you do?
Yeah, we can definitely just
I think
right
we're
in.
off to a good start.
Slide right in. All right, yeah.
Start
Let's start talking about what you guys do. Can you introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about what you do?
So I'm Kaih Taylor. I am the Talent Retention Chair for Columbia Opportunity Resource, and we are a nonprofit that specializes in trying to retain talent in Columbia. And we are out and about trying to get everybody integrated into our programs and show them that Columbia is a great place to be.
And your day job.
And my day job. Yeah, I forgot about that. I work at AgFirst Farm Credit Bank. So I work in risk management and I oversee everything that we do. I have a nice little cute department who help me really just try and protect the bank and all of our customers from harm. So
from like hackers?
Everything above hackers and below hackers, yes.
Bank robbers?
So
Not
we're
bank robbers.
doing reputational risk and tracking people and investigations and doing assessments. So,
Nice.
yeah.
So if someone calls and says your great uncle from United Kingdom,
Zimbabwe.
he's from Zimbabwe, just left you $50 million,
Definitely do not respond.
and they propose. Here's the weird thing: they always propose. I take a third, you take a third, and we give a third to charity.
Yeah.
I'm like,
yeah.
why would anybody, even if that was real, why would they tell me where my inheritance should go?
I find those just as fun as those people who get the random emails that says, "Hey, here's an invoice for this," and they decide to
Right.
open it up, and you're like, "Why did you click this link for something to hit
Yeah.
up a board?" So,
Right.
yeah.
And have you heard about the big scam with the constable? He says he's a police officer and you missed bail. You missed jury duty. And they say you need to come down here right now. There's a warrant out because you missed jury duty.
Oh wow.
Captain Crawford.
You haven't heard that? Oh,
It's
Captain Crawford. Yes.
Oh.
My kids, when I got that call, my kids were in the vehicle with me. And I'm like, he's like, you're going to be arrested. But he sounded really good. I was like, this doesn't sound right. This doesn't sound like what police officers would do. Just call me and tell me this. Definitely not the way that you're telling me. And my kids are like, Dad, are you going to get arrested? They're like crying. I'm like, no. So we had to have a whole conversation about tricky people.
I mean,
Anyway,
yeah.
I digress from you. So thanks. So you're
Well, you weren't
you're
arrested, so.
you're retaining talent in Columbia,
Yes.
and you're saving the bank from
Trying.
scammers and hackers.
We're trying to protect them from scammers and hackers. Yes.
Okay. Exciting.
Ah.
All right, Ashley,
I
you go ahead. Tell all right, how do you follow up with that?
Yeah. So my name's Ashley Elsey. Thank you guys so much for having us. We're thrilled. For CORE, I serve on the board. It's my 6th year, and I actually co-founded this program, Crash Course Columbia, that we'll be talking about a little bit with another board member, Kelsey Bickley. And so back in 2020, actually right before the pandemic, we launched this program. So great timing. In my day job, I'm a communications consultant and work with a bunch of different clients like Columbia Food and Wine Festival and Beats Bar Studio and just a little bit here, a little bit there.
So you're promoting events
Yes.
and organizing them?
I don't lean as much into the logistics side,
Yeah.
but I definitely enjoy that space where events meets PR and communications.
Cool.
And just really cool things that are happening in Columbia and trying to spotlight that.
Right.
there's
do you
so much
find
going
those?
on.
Is it like, yeah, where do you find that stuff? Like, how do you guys determine what's cool, what's happening?
You
Is there-
create it.
or you-
she
yeah, or you-
she's the person who
You're
creates
behind it. So we found like, it's like the Wizard of Oz. We finally made it. And we're looking behind the curtain right now.
I mean, to an extent, yes. If there was something that
Really?
we feel like needs to happen in Columbia, like
Right.
I have seen and been a part of multiple groups or organizations that are like, let's do this. I mean,
Yes.
Columbia Food and Wine Festival is actually one of them. Like 7 years ago, you know, Charleston had a wine and food festival. Greenville had Euphoria. I was working at a PR agency representing multiple restaurants, going to these food festivals. And a lot of people in the hospitality scene were like, why don't we have one?
Yeah.
And so way back when, the 5 Points Association and Free Times got together and said, hey, let's just get a bunch of hospitality people and like put on a food festival.
Sweet.
And then it happened. And now
Sweet.
7 years later, I'm still engaged in the program, and it's grown. It's bigger and better than ever. I'm super pumped for
Like,
this year.
say I wanted to organize a flash mob to like start dancing.
Yeah.
Is that something like we would come to you and be like, hey, we want downtown Columbia. My wife and I are going to be having dinner, and then you just turn it into like 100-person dance.
If you want to hire me to
do
coordinate a
that?
flash mob,
See, that would be sweet.
let's do
That's
it.
what you would do.
Let's
I
go.
volunteer.
I always
That
wondered,
sounds fun. Yeah.
like, 'cause who's behind that? You know what I mean? Like, I was like, that's a lot of work, right?
I've actually always wanted to be a part of a real flash mob, but we
Dang.
did do a flash mob at the Contemporaries Gala a couple of years ago,
Mm.
and I thought it was a big hit.
Yeah,
We
you-
weren't
they can't go
professional
wrong, right?
dancers, but I think it was. I thought it was a crowd pleaser.
You have
There
to
were
choose the
prof-
song, right?
Yeah.
I mean, there's
Yeah.
a lot to it, I would think.
So that was going to be my question, but what song?
Right.
What song are you going to choose?
What do you think?
Like, that's
Kai-
going
what
to
would
determine
Kai,
everything.
what would
I
Kai
don't know.
choose?
Oh no.
Let me think. See, I don't know her well enough.
I know, we
She's from
just-
London, though. Did you know that? So
I
I'm
kind of caught the accent vibe. Do you know where I'm from by listening to me?
No.
I'm from Canada.
Canada, yeah.
I would have said China, but so here's what I think.
Okay.
You're a One Direction fan.
Harry Styles.
Styles.
Oh
No?
no.
No.
Okay.
Justin
All right,
Bieber.
All right. Hold on.
You like Justin Bieber.
Wrong. I was feeling Justin, but not the Bieber.
Timberlake.
Oh.
See, I'm a
You're a
Timberlake.
Timberlake
I'm
guy.
an NSYNC girl. So
Okay.
Oh, really?
All right.
yeah.
Okay, I like that.
Yeah.
I love NSYNC. So you were big NSYNC over Backstreet Boys.
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have me and my friend have a rivalry right now because they just obviously had their tour with
Yeah,
the
yeah.
Backstreet. So obviously we were trying to encourage NSYNC to get on this train.
Right.
We want an NSYNC tour, and we're still on it. I'm not letting go. But
Do you think Justin had anything to do with Britney? Like the whole Britney Spears thing?
which part?
Just like her.
Yeah,
her, like,
he's getting blamed
There's
for
multiple
everything,
parts
and I
to
don't
this
know.
puzzle.
Yeah. Yeah. Like I mean, I haven't read her book yet, but I guess he gets thrown under the bus. A
Oh
lot.
yeah. Oh,
And
yeah.
I'm not. I don't think I'm going to read. I don't mean yet. I'm not going to read her book. But but yeah, I always wondered if you're a big fan, like if you thought there was anything he did to like.
I mean, I feel like we don't apply the human element into it
Yeah.
because they were young. And if you think about what we were like when we were their age, and he's a young guy, she got pregnant supposedly, and
Yeah.
then it's no longer a pregnancy. So
Yeah.
it's like, I get it. I understand why you'd be upset. But if you think about it in the holistic view of the normal world, at that age, there's a lot of people who are also doing that don't get criticized the same way.
Right.
So I don't know. I like to apply the human element into things and think logically rather than just the celebrity of it all and go, okay, well, he was just a normal human man at that time. You
Right,
can't
and-
really judge him for being a man. Like, he's a young guy.
Yeah. Yeah. Good
Right.
point.
Got to be on the guy's side sometimes.
Good to hear, right?
Yeah, I love that. I wasn't expecting that. But she did go have kids with Kevin Federline
She
after,
did.
which you got to think that's a big drop.
She did. And I mean, there's a lot to that story too, because apparently he wasn't single when that happened and
Oh,
all
I didn't
sorts
know
of
that.
I
things.
didn't
So
either.
yeah, so I don't know. Like I said, it's the celebrity of it all, and I think we all do it. You play blind to the red flags and just ignore it. So
Yeah. So Justin Timberlake's song was what you would want to
That's
dance
the one
to.
you would dance.
If I was doing a flash mob, probably not. I'd probably go old school. I feel like I would go like 80s Motown kind of vibe. Yeah,
Nice.
do like an Earth, Wind, and Fire or something like that.
What I'm hearing is that you guys want to sponsor a
I
flash
do.
mob
I think we
do.
at Columbia Food and Wine Festival.
Yes.
That'd be
I
fun.
think we
Yeah.
Let's talk about that because I would. I've been wanting to do
Make
one
it
for a long
happen.
time.
Or
I'm a
somewhere
terrible
else
dancer,
because
though.
this will come out before that festival, so we can
Yeah, when is
Oh.
that? Let's
keep
put.
it on the DL.
When is the when is the food and wine festival?
We're gonna show up at Kaih's bank
Yes.
and just go
And
after
it'll
it.
be a song. It's like, we're not scammers.
Oh my God.
Why are there 40 people in the bank right now? Don't worry, they're
Just
all
like
just
security
banking.
red flags everywhere.
Like shaking their head, like, why did we let her leave today?
All right, so let's hop into then Crash Course Columbia. So this is the main thing that you guys are pushing right now, but you guys do other events, right?
Mhm.
Right.
Tell the audience just about who the target is for this Crash Course.
Yeah, sure. So, Crash Course Columbia is like a day. Sorry, I hit on the table.
Be as aggressive as
Yeah,
you
yeah.
want on that
If
table.
you want to hammer,
you want to
anything,
punch things.
You want tools, we can bring them in.
It's a day and a half, what we like to call a professional development conference to get to know your city. It's like a hop on, hop off bus where we're taking you behind the scenes.
Like
at
on a bus, though. A real
Yes,
bus.
a
Okay.
real
private
bus.
bus.
Sweet.
Yeah, air conditioning.
Nice.
Yes.
Good features.
And beautiful tour guides.
Windshield wipers.
Yeah.
Good tires.
So we built this tour for people who are new to Columbia or new to the working world because one, I think that if you go to college here, and I was one of those people, you kind of stay in this university bubble and you don't really get to know Columbia. Like the Columbia that I know now is so different than the Columbia I knew when I was a Gamecock. And so in addition to people who, they've lived in Columbia, but maybe they haven't experienced a lot of it yet, or like Kaih is moving to Columbia and you're like, I don't even know where to start. I just want to get plugged in. This is like your quote unquote crash course
Sweet.
to get connected.
Nice. And then do you curate people to meet at this? So I know that you gave us an itinerary, which is pretty cool. We were looking through this. And is there do you bring in oh my God, Randy Kloss is at Peacewise Coffee right now, sipping coffee. And the tour bus
And
comes in and they're like, take a look over
Photos.
there.
I'm like, all right, no photos.
We definitely do. I think for us, we try to utilize our connections with our community leaders across Columbia. So we do networking hours throughout the tour. So we'll invite them to come in and meet our attendees and talk to them about different things that are going on in Columbia. We're this year going to partner with CMA and we're going to bring them out to First Thursday and really just, again, integrate them into the culture of Columbia. But community just connections is what's important to us. So
Sure.
anywhere we can plug that in, we think that is so important.
Nice.
Cool.
Yeah.
Well, I want to read what you have on your form here. So it's a talent retention initiative driven by CORE, C-O-R. Why you're here. Crash Course Columbia is all about taking you behind the scenes of the region's top attractions, local restaurants, and burgeoning.
Oh God, that's too big of a word.
Burgeoning?
Burgeoning development.
Burgeoning? Yeah. In Canada, the G's are always soft and different. You just never know. The goal is for you to discover a new local hotspot or hidden gem, gain insight into Columbia's future, and walk away with a new or re-energized passion for our community. Share today's experiences on social medias. Tell your friends about it. And then it's at our.cor or at Crash Course Cola on Instagram, Facebook. You guys have all that stuff probably.
All of the above.
Where's your target? So you're targeting 20 to 22-year-olds.
We're targeting anybody who wants to connect with Columbia. We have people who come through who are straight out of college. We have some people who've lived here their whole lives and just
Really?
haven't really just experienced
Nice.
Columbia. So we welcome everybody. If you
Military
wanna know-
wives probably too. They move and
Oh, yeah.
don't know
Oh yeah,
anybody.
a lot of those. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Cool.
Sweet. So new people, but then say you are 72 years old.
Mhm.
Good, still good to get on the tour bus, sightsee, the whole nine.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I would love to do
What's the oldest
undecideds.
person that's done it so far?
Oh, I don't know that.
Probably late 50s, early 60s.
I was gonna say maybe early 60s.
Yeah.
Any-
I will say there's a decent amount of
I
walking.
was gonna say health
Yeah.
requirements.
Yeah.
It's
what-
about 2 to 3 miles probably. I mean, it is broken up because it's throughout the day
Mhm.
and you go on the bus in between.
Yeah.
And every tour is a little bit different because we change it every year. So, but we do like to get out and walk around. Like there's a walking tour on Main Street this year. There's also going to be an interactive activity,
Yes.
scavenger hunt-esque thing in 5 Points. So that's going to require a little bit of walking
Yeah, that's
around.
cool.
Nice.
Can guys? Is it just for women, or can guys go too?
Everybody.
Anybody can go.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Should
Are
we
you gonna go?
I
Yeah.
kind of want. I want to go. I think.
I
Should
think
we
it
go?
sounds
What
fun.
are you guys doing March
What-
7th and 8th?
What day of the week is that? Is that a
Thursday evening
okay?
and then all day Friday.
So it's Thursday night, 5:30 to 7:30, and then all day Friday.
And you guys do this once a year, or how often do you guys do this?
So right now we have 2 tours scheduled.
Okay.
But it's all based on how many people we get who are interested in doing it. We
Yeah.
would love to do more than 2 tours a year.
Gotcha.
And the more interest that we get is the more that tours we'll be able to do.
Nice.
And we have partners and we are like talking about doing some alumni events and things like that to really integrate people into Columbia. So the more that people really get ingrained with this program is the more that we can do. It allows us to connect and introduce
Sweet.
them to Columbia.
What would you say the ultimate goal? Like if I attend this and I leave there and I like call my mom right afterwards, what would you want me to say to her? Like what's the big takeaway?
I feel
Dude, it's funny. It's a funny question because you don't call your mom
would- yeah.
at all.
So like,
Like,
yeah,
that's,
so firstly, congratulations on finding your mother.
I gotta put that in the schedule.
But I feel like different people get different things. I
Yeah,
would
we
speak
probably
from,
have different
Yeah.
answers.
because I feel like because I came in and I was really coming to try and find a reason for me to be here.
Like now, is this straight from England to the States? This was your first stop, or
This was my first stop. So I
Wow,
came
okay.
straight from London
Yeah.
here.
Lot of
And I
pressure.
had been here like 3 years and was just kind of doing the work and home thing. So I wasn't really doing much in Colombia. And I was really just trying to figure out what I wanted to do. Do I stay here? Do I move on to Charlotte or New York or one of the other places? And I literally came on this course because I was like, what can I do here? And I left with a feeling like I had a place here. That's how I left.
wow.
That's
this
how I
kept you
left.
in Columbia.
This kept me here.
Wow.
in the U.S. Really?
This
Yeah.
kept me
Well,
here.
she might have gone to New York, or
Nah.
New York's not as cool. It's not.
It's definitely
expensive.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, we
Perfect.
have a direct flight where we can spend some time in New York,
Right.
come back and not be spending as much
Mhm.
money.
Yep.
Now, what's your takeaway from it, Ashley? What would be?
Well, I mean, Kaih is like the ultimate poster child for this
She's
program.
the avatar.
I mean,
She's who
this
we're going
is-
for.
Yeah, this is like the biggest success story that we could ask for. I hope that whenever people go through the tour, if they say, wow, I didn't know that. I learned something new. I went to a new business and I want to go back there. And I want to tell my friends and family about all the cool things that I learned today.
Yeah.
Like that's the goal.
Yeah.
Because ultimately we want people to be spreading the word and like creating buzz about the cool things that are happening here. And we know that that happens through experiences and word of mouth.
Right.
And I don't know how long you guys have been in Columbia.
14
You're
years. for
14.
me.
I'm about 5.5 years.
Okay. So you may have experienced, I think we have a bit of an identity. What is the word? Like Colombians. Yeah. Colombians like to kind of talk badly.
Yes, a lot of people hate Colombia that grew up here.
Right.
Yes,
Which I can't
that's the
figure out.
problem. If they've
Yeah.
never been anywhere else, they don't like Colombia. Then they go
Right.
somewhere else and they realize how awesome it is.
Right. Right. So our hope was to kind of help combat that a
Yes.
little bit and just get people positively talking about this area, because the more that we're talking positively, the more people are going to want to visit here, move here, etc. So it sounds like such a small thing, but it really makes a big difference when it comes to the growth of our region.
Yeah, I think that was a good point. Like when I first moved here, I didn't know like where do young professionals hang out. I like came out of college and now I'm like in this like weird, I'm starting a business. I'm a doctor, so I can't really go to the college bars. It was just like, and I didn't know where to go.
Right.
do you guys have like a list or a web like on your social media where you kind of post like cool places? Like the places you guys picked in this are for sure very well known, and it seems like the spots that people should know about in Colombia if you've been here for any length of time. But do you guys have separate lists that you're like, oh yeah, this is your top, 7 bars if you're looking to?
So we don't like publish a list, but we try to do different events. So we do different, like we said, outside of our talent retention committee, we do activates, we do table for 6, we do all these different events, and they're all about integrating people into Colombia. So we'll try and get people out to do something in a new place. So last year's crash course, we did something different where we actually did a panel at Coca. And there was a lot of people who had been on our course who would never step foot into Coca Center because they had this view of what the arts was. So we brought all of these various different art directors from across Colombia in one room to talk about the arts in Colombia.
Nice.
Trustus, the Nick, the Senate,
yes,
Columbia City Ballet,
Jazz, Federation,
Cola Jazz.
Yes.
They were all there.
And
now Randy thinks you're talking about Kroger, the grocery store, but it's
Kroger.
No, I know what it is now, but I didn't for a long time.
He's not very artsy. He's like, what are people doing in the produce section here talking about art?
But no, it was interesting to see. It's the very first time that I had seen the light bulb go on.
Right.
Because usually we are the hosts and we're hosting and we're encouraging. But it was the first time we got to kind of sit at the front and see the reaction. And as they were really asking questions and they were talking about all the things that were happening, they were like, oh, well, I've never been here. And we gave them a little, some just secret knowledge of what was coming up in 2024 because we had been asking questions about Hamilton coming this year and things like that. People take that for granted because you think about how much it costs to go and see some of these shows in some of the bigger cities that we don't really appreciate the things that we get here. And I think that was great, having that conversation and opening up their minds to the possibility of just going out and experiencing some of these things. So I think for us, it's been really good to kind of start to think outside of the box, like we say, what do we need? What is the need right now? And really just open that door to kind of start bringing people in. So we like to do that.
It's great.
Yeah.
We're always trying to add on to that. We're always trying to go to new businesses in different parts of town. So like we've done an event, Core has done Activates, which is like a free mixer on the rooftop of Hendrix. We did one at the Hoot in Rosewood recently. We've done Savage Craft. The Hoot.
I've never heard of the Hoot.
Oh my God.
I don't know what the Hoot is either.
Oh,
it's so good.
Yeah.
What
Is it a bar?
Restaurant?
Bar, restaurant.
Yeah.
And it's vegan, or they have a lot of vegan options. So the owners, one of the owners used to be involved with the WIG.
Okay.
R.I.P.
Yeah, that's gone.
So the Hoot is over near where Studio Fire used to be on Rosewood.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
So when you're taking people on a bus, what's the rules? Give me what the... I'm picturing you with one of those microphones what's the movie with Jennifer Aniston, The Breakup? Have you seen The Breakup?
Yes, but I don't know what scene you're talking about.
So her boyfriend is a tour guide, and he's on the bus in New York City, I think, or Chicago, and he gives tells jokes. Vince Vaughn, he tells jokes the entire time, and he's like, "Oh, if you look to your left, you'll see blah blah blah, and if you look to your right, you'll see blah." And then he makes a corny joke. But you're not doing. You don't have it. Is that what you're doing? Do you have a microphone or a megaphone?
No microphone, but we are like talking sometimes while we're on the bus. But then we also try to just encourage people to sit by someone new on the bus.
Yes,
because you're getting on and off. So we just want to let people have some time to kind of get to know each other. Yeah. Like when you're off the bus, it's very active. It's like we have 30 minutes at the zoo and you're going to see where the giraffes sleep and like pet the giraffes or feed them. And then you're back on the bus. So it's like, go.
It's almost like a kid's field trip kind of thing.
Yeah. Wall climbing. Do you guys do wall climbing?
Not yet.
The ropes course?
Carousel. You have to pay the extra $2 to go on the carousel.
Everything is included.
Yes.
Oh, nice.
Oh, yeah.
All the food, all the drinks, all the transport, everything.
Yeah, let's talk about that. So then we saw that there's a ticket and there's also a membership, right? Can you kind of tell us about how the membership stuff is and the ticketing and all that works?
Yeah, I'm glad you brought that up.
Yeah.
Do you want to?
So with Crash Course, you are not just paying to go through this experience. We want you to have the full experience. So within this ticket price, we're going to give you an annual membership to Core. So all of our events that we do throughout the next year, you're going to get an email to invite you to come along to our Activate, or we have some of our other paid events where we're going to give you a significant discount to be able to come and participate.
Awesome.
So
50% off. That's a new thing.
50%,
Sweet.
right.
All members get 50% off our events.
But we're really committed about integrating. So we want to go beyond just these 10 hours. We want you to really come and get the full experience. And we will post up about going to different places and say, come out, because it doesn't have to be a core event because we are community partners. We're going to say, hey, this is going on. You should come check it out. That's what's important to us.
Nice.
Yeah. Back to your question about like, what do we want people to get out of this?
Yeah.
We want them to stay involved, hopefully. So
In the organization. all
yeah,
that,
in the organization, in the community, and just continue. Like, we want this to kind of be dipping your toe in the water. And then you're like, wait, this is rad. Let's keep going.
Love
Yeah,
that.
I like that. I like the idea of getting people to stay in Columbia, because I think that was part of the struggle, was people were graduating and looking elsewhere versus keeping and retaining some of the talent here.
Mm-hmm.
Or go ahead.
Yeah, well, I've just found that women are pretty bad at making friends after college.
It's hard.
Very.
It's really hard.
For guys, it seems easier. I know there's
Really?
lots of guys, or at least
Well,
in my
Randy's-
experience. With me,
He's so attractive.
everybody just walks up to me and introduces
Like,
themselves. I had people telling me they want to be my friend.
It's like, can I get your phone number? It was just like,
I think I'm friends with, and part of it is, I honestly think I'm friends with everybody immediately, whether they think they're friends with me. But for guys, at least like my experience with myself and my wife, it would be, someone would say, hey, do you want to go golfing? And then we would just go golfing. And then it wouldn't be weird for me to just text them, do you want to go golf? Like, we just have things in
to do.
Right.
or do you want to go fishing? Me and two friends are going fishing. We just have these natural things that I would do anyways. And then I just find people that do it. But with my wife, it wasn't always like that, because it was, well, I have kids and I have this. And this person, one time they looked at my hair a little bit weird, and I'm not quite sure if they were offended or what. Like, I'm like, what are you talking about? But then if there's an event actually scheduled, then she's like, okay, I'll go to this. There's no pressure. If I want to, sit with one person or another person, it's kind of like organized, the start time and an end time.
Yeah. I mean, I've talked to so many people who are like, after college, where do you even start?
you-
Outside
Right.
of your work
Yeah.
environment,
Right.
like, how do you're just not in this position where you're constantly meeting new people, and it's just like kind of more natural. It's definitely, but I always say to anyone that's moved here, like, you have to come out for like 2 to 3 months consistently, and just
one
like
after another, like,
Yes,
stay
like,
involved. Yeah.
go.
Is there one of these every month?
There's not a crash course every month, but Core has 2 to 3 events a month.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah.
And then there's other nonprofits too that are kind of like that we promote through Crash Course, like Historic Columbia and the Palladium Society, or the Contemporaries, or YLS, and
Mhm.
so on and so forth, Women in Philanthropy. So
Yeah.
it's like, just keep going to these events, like a couple a month for 2 to 3 months. And after 3 months, I promise, like,
Yeah.
it's going to start overlapping, and you're just like, before you know it, you can't go to an event where you don't run into somebody.
Right.
Like, it happens quickly, but it takes that commitment. And it's like, I get it, because it's like nerve wracking. I mean, I was there after college when all my friends left eventually. Like, I mean, I had my boyfriend, now husband, like his friends, but I didn't really have like my own friends. And
Right.
so I would go to events like this kind of solo. And sometimes I would drag my coworker around or whatever, but they were like, I don't know. But it worked. Like,
Yeah.
it just takes a little bit of time, a little bit of commitment to put yourself out there. And then, but people here are nice. Like, they want
Right.
Yeah.
to help you.
And they want to make friends too.
Right.
I think other people want to make friends just as much as
Right.
you would.
Yeah.
Except, well, you have so many though that you.
That I'm
a
kind of
lot
the
of times
opposite.
you're trying to fend them off.
Who
So-
was your first friend? Do you remember your first friend that you met?
Like in
ever?
kindergarten, or
Yeah.
No.
like
Like,
when?
well, no, she was just saying you were kind of lonely. You didn't really have any friends. It was your
I'm trying to-
boyfriend's friends, but then all of a sudden something clicked.
Well, that's hard, because I kind of had, like, I had a really strong and fabulous work environment, And so like I knew people through
that.
my bosses, and like they really pushed community involvement. And so, but I still felt like I was like, oh yeah, I work at this really cool agency called Flock and Rally, and like I'm friends with them, so like I'm cool
Right.
by proxy. Like
Yes.
That's
you
what
know
our
I
staff
mean?
I was
Like-
just thinking like Brittany Queen, Sam Meyer, they're
They just
always
use
like,
our
yeah,
names
they just
and-
think they're so cool because they're with us.
right.
Yeah.
But so I did feel like it just took a minute for me to feel like independently
Mhm.
that I had connections, that I had like,
Yeah.
if that makes sense.
Yeah.
It's funny because we just did, or I should say I'm speaking like there's two of me. We just did an event.
You and your personality.
You and
Me and my
yourself.
personality. I just spoke at an event and we were talking about this subject, and it's interesting to me that you said that you think that men find it more easier to make connections, because we were talking about the fact that we think that women have it easier because we can actually just walk up and approach a woman.
Yeah.
Like a woman walk up to another woman and say, hey, I love your hair, I love your shoes, I love your
Right.
bag.
Mhm.
And it's not awkward. Like we have the ability to walk up to somebody and say something without it getting really weird.
Yeah.
Where if a man walked up to another man was like, hey, I like your jacket, they'll be like,
Yeah. It's
I,
a great.
I
Have
guess
you-
I do that.
have you guys done
that?
You're telling me.
I do that everywhere.
It's so weird.
It wouldn't
And
be
there's
that a
I think it's a
Canadian
Canadian.
thing?
Yeah, I was like,
Yeah.
it's got to be
See,
Canadian.
I was gonna-
It wouldn't be jacket, but I
British.
mean,
really
I would
nice
for sure
shoe.
say if I like their
Shoes,
mustache.
biceps?
No,
Mustache?
mustache would be number one.
Facial hair, yeah.
Biceps would be another one.
Beard.
I would
Yeah.
say, yeah, like I would just go stand beside them and like flex.
No, we're at this event, and he literally walks up to a guy and got a picture with the guy just because he loved the way he looked. And Randy's like, "Hey, can you just take my phone?"
Well,
and
he
get a
was dressed.
photo?"
He was dressed as 50 Cent.
Which is true. It's true. But it was just like, yeah, all right, we'll do it.
Yeah, but you might be right. Women are definitely more
We should
socially
put a poll out
comfortable.
on
Yeah.
y'all's Instagram.
That's a good idea.
Because my wife, we were at a pumpkin patch. My wife walked up to somebody and like complimented him, and then it was like,
Yeah.
"Hey, like we should be friends." Like she
Right.
flat out said it. It was like, "Oh my god!" And me and the
Yeah.
husband were just like wrangling our kids. Like, what do we say to each other? I don't know.
But the talk I did was about how we get out of our comfort zone to make connections. So I was just saying, I feel like as humans, we have this bias. So we will either sit in our bias because we don't want to go and approach somebody, or we will have to force ourselves out of that bias.
Right.
And I said, I feel like when we go to these networking things, we put so much pressure on ourselves to achieve, okay, I need to make connections.
and get
So,
digits or something.
Right. So if you go to the first one and you meet one person, you take that as a failure. But is
Yeah,
it really
yeah.
a failure? Because you came out of that with one more connection than you went in it. So that's a positive, not negative. So I was just I was sharing my weird things that I do when I go to these events. And I'm like, okay, my favorite color is turquoise. So everybody who's got blue on, I'm going to go say something to them.
Oh, you had a little
Or
strategy.
What did you say? Turquoise is my favorite color. Nice to meet you. I'm
I'm
Kaih.
like, that color looks amazing on you. And that would
There
be
you
the
go.
start of a
Yeah, nice
conversation.
opener.
So it's like, you just have to kind of get out of your head and just take the pressure off. And I feel like when you do that, it becomes much easier. So I was just like challenging them to think about things that they do. So one of the guys there, he's like, I like fishing. So I was like, oh, okay, ask them what was the last thing that they fished? What's the last thing they caught? And either they're going to say, I don't fish, or they're going to say, oh, I caught this.
Yeah.
There's your opener.
Yeah.
So it's like, just need to make it comfortable for you. And I think like we were saying, when you get out, it can become overwhelming because you'll suddenly go from no events to events every day. And you're like, okay, what do I do now? And I
Right.
think if you take that pressure off, that will also, help you to start making those real connections. Because now you're not just doing the surface, hi, my name is Kaih and I work for Ag First. You're going to start building real connections. And I think that's what's important is I want to be able to pick up the phone and go to dinner at 8:00 because I'm hungry and I'm going to have options to do that. Like I want someone,
Right.
I just want to go eat or go have a cocktail.
Yeah. Nice. Are you guys the type of girls that on an airplane you like to talk to the person next to you?
Depends.
Yeah,
I
I was gonna say
know.
it depends. It really does depend.
Like it
You
depends.
gotta like feel out the vibe.
Yeah, and like kind of what are my goals for that plane ride?
How
like
long's the flight?
am
There's a
I
lot of
trying to
factors.
sleep? Am I trying to get some work done on this plane ride? Like, do I need to focus or am I just kind of like
Right.
high off of whatever trip I just came on and just kind of giggly and chatty?
Yeah.
I mean, generally I'll pretty much talk to anyone.
Yep.
I'm like that. I'm also an introvert, so no one believes me when I say this because I talk to everybody. But I'm a introverted extrovert.
Yeah.
So if I'm in my zone, I will sit on the plane and I will not speak to anybody. But for some reason, obviously, this thing that comes out my mouth, they hear my accent, and then that encourages them to come and talk to me. And I'm like, oh, okay.
That's your opener.
Yeah.
I just say something like, "You're not from here." Oh,
Yeah.
I'm
Right
telling
away.
you, I'm gonna learn the Southern accent. I'm gonna have it down packed at some point. But yeah,
Is your family? You have any family over here?
I have loads of family over here. Actually,
What
I have a
brought
really
you
big
here?
family.
What? Yeah. What moved you overseas?
I moved for a boy,
Oh, still
but
with
I
them?
stay for me. No.
Oh goodness.
Wow. Did you guys meet on plentyoffish.com?
Definitely not plenty of fish.
I don't know what any of the other ones. What is it? Hinge?
Definitely
Bumble?
no. No
Tinder.
dating apps.
Tinder?
I
Oh.
did not meet on a dating app.
Oh.
But we were friends first, and you know how it goes. Yeah, we outgrew each other. So.
But was it an online meeting first, or like you were friends in person?
Online?
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Instagram.
No, it was actually.
Why are you
sound
being
like
so
such
secretive
a
about
nerd
how you
right
know?
now.
Because he's listening. He's gonna hear this.
We met through a Facebook group. We were in the same Facebook group.
Oh, like risk management for banks.
Definitely not
Facebook
risk
group.
management. But yeah, we were friends for a while, and he was showing interest, and I was ignoring
You
the
said I'm
interest.
gonna pack up my whole
and
life and move.
It's funny how that worked out. Yeah, I never thought I would move, but
Yeah.
here I am.
Nice.
Did he come to you first? Like,
No, I came here because I was coming here for work. And I just kind of flew through here on the way. And but yeah, we were connecting back and forth. So
Nice. How old was he? Was he in his 20s?
we were both in our late 20s.
Yeah. So could have worked. I'm a big proponent of don't date guys till they're 30 plus.
I can see that, especially now in
Yeah.
the dating scene
Yeah.
for sure.
Yep.
I think
He's the
kind of the
opposite.
opposite. I think you got to get
Really?
in their 20s.
But you're gambling
when
at
they're
that
still,
point.
yes. It's
It is.
Think of it like an investment. You're buying Apple when its stock is low,
Yes.
hoping that it turns into the iPhone.
Yeah.
But it depends on what kind of person they are.
Yeah.
Because some people are just fully on their 20s and just being 20. They have no
Right.
intention of committing to anything. So I think it really does depend on the person.
Yep.
That plane moment again. He's sitting next to you.
Yeah. So now, do you encourage people to share their phone numbers? Like when they come to these events, what's the move to get people to like business cards, phone numbers, QR codes? What's the move?
Yeah.
All of the above.
Really?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just like
I mean,
tap your neighbor on the shoulder and slide him a card.
we've seen people like who met on Crash Course and then we're like at brunch at Taza.
Did
And
they-
they're at brunch together.
Yeah.
And they're
Started
like, oh,
dating.
Any love
No,
story? Yeah. No
no.
love stories yet?
like friends. Not that
I
we
feel like we need a love story.
Yeah,
I
it's-
just thought
It
about
feels
that.
like this would be a lot of singles.
you guys
or
let's
couple.
recruit
I don't know if
some
there's
singles.
couples.
We want to do a
We
bachelor
need to do a
episode. So
single tour.
Oh, we could do the bachelor
let's
episode.
do a singles tour. We're gonna do a
Yes.
bachelor.
Yes.
Yeah, like you know how they do the different countries. We'll do different dates at each one of these spots.
Yes.
That would be so cute.
one-on-one.
All
Like
right.
who
That-
gets the one
yeah,
they
this could
choose
work.
on the bus who gets the
Yes.
next one-on-one.
Only,
Oh,
my
that's good.
goodness,
I was gonna say
love
only
this.
if we can do the
And we
blind
drop
date
people
one.
off. If they don't get a
That'd be
rose, we drop them off wherever they don't get the rose.
Uber takes you
But
back.
who gives the rose?
So we probably have to do. Well, I think we do a simultaneous one bachelor and one bachelorette at the same time though, so we have a good mixture of people.
I like that. I like
It's kind of like Bachelor in Paradise.
Yes.
Mhm.
on
Yeah.
Crash
Yes.
Course Columbia.
And then we're gonna visit, and then you're gonna see Randy drinking coffee at Peacewise. And you're just gonna keep. He's
I
gonna
want to
the-
be in the videography, like production
Yeah.
side. But one of my, have you ever heard of the show Eliminate?
Yeah.
No.
Oh, it's such a.
What?
It
That's
was so
you guys
good.
are
It was
younger.
called, yeah, I must be getting old.
So good.
But it was like it was before The Bachelor, but it was just one date. So it'd be one woman with 5 guys or one guy with 5 women, and they would go on dates. But then after each stop, he would have to eliminate, or she would have to eliminate someone until the end when he was with his final person, and then they would end their date. So it might start at
Oh.
4:00, and you would go for coffee together, and then you'd go to the beach and play frisbee together, and then you'd go.
Oh, this
walk
is
around
just
the
like
museum
that.
or
Yeah,
something.
yeah,
Yes,
this
yes.
is just like it.
Yes.
I had one of my life goals was to be on Eliminate, but
Now you can
but I got
produce
married.
it.
I know
Yeah.
when I got married, I was
Ask
like,
your
I'm
wife if
giving
this
up
will
one
work.
of my life goals to get married right now.
Now you can help produce it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what I
Eliminate
was thinking.
Columbia.
I was telling her I still
it.
want to be a part of it, even if I can't.
It would be
on
great
it.
coming up with all the concepts and all that stuff. And it always ended in a hot tub. We need a hot
Yes.
tub that it
Yes.
ends in with
Hey,
like
we got a hot
with
tub.
chocolates.
Mm. I think the Marriott has a hot tub.
Yep. We'll
Done.
end at the Marriott.
It's
A
like,
little sightseeing.
Tom's
Now-
house, and here's Tom's house.
Yes.
With a hot tub.
House.
Today's episode is brought to you by our sponsor, Columbia Family Chiropractic, with 3 easy-to-get-to locations, one in Forest Acres, which is by Trader Joe's, one in O'Neill Court by the DMV, and one in the Northeast by Sand Hills. You'll be sure to have somewhere near you. They offer a ton of services from corrective care, on-site digital x-rays, spinal decompression for bulging or herniated discs, dry needling for injuries, pediatric care, and a Class 4 laser. They accept all your major insurances. And if you mention this ad, you'll get a discount on your first appointment. Check out their website at cfc4health.com or Google Columbia Family Chiropractic. That's cfc4 health.com.
yeah.
Now for the girl, we had 4 of the girls on the podcast.
Yeah,
Michaela
we
and
love them.
competitors. I don't think
Well,
you can say their names.
I don't think
No,
they're
no,
competitive. I think
no.
they're
Oh, you guys aren't
Yeah.
competitive with each
Yeah.
other?
No,
I
we
was-
love that.
I was
Yeah.
trying
I'm
to
just
say.
trying to create beef for no reason.
All right, face off. No, yeah, I was gonna say like that. It seems like there'd be a natural. What's this?
Yeah.
Synergy.
Synergy
Yes.
is the right word.
Yeah.
With you guys, is that
Yeah.
because it almost feels like? Well, I don't know what their target market feels a little younger.
Yeah.
Because my wife's 34, and I was like, you should go to one of their things, and she's like, I don't know.
Okay,
It's-
she should come though
right.
because
That's what I
I
said.
went and there were some 30 to 40s,
Yeah,
but it was majority a little bit younger.
like 25.
But
to
I kind of loved that. I was
Mhm.
like, oh, I can
Keeps
stay
you
hip with the
fresh.
trends.
Yeah, I think she's gonna go to one of them. But
Yeah.
so that's what I
That'd
didn't
be
know.
fun,
Like,
yeah.
would you guys be the older?
Well, you guys allow
and the guys,
and guys. You
for
allow
the girls
guys.
and the guys,
We-
older version.
I have guys too.
Yeah.
There's a lot of synergy there.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I've started getting to know Michaela and Emma. And I have been, if you guys are listening, we've been really wanting to talk to you about collaborating on
Oh,
some
yeah.
core stuff.
Yeah.
I think we kind of have a little bit, like we've been coming to each other's events and that type of thing. But I love what they're doing. Like I feel like they just kind of popped up so quickly
Yes.
and have grown so fast. And like
I think
the
it was because of our
energy-
show, probably. But no
Probably.
big. I mean, they don't really do much. There was that one episode that came on and just blew up afterwards,
Yeah.
right? Yeah.
They
We were
only have,
also
like, 3
responsible for Jada Samuels winning Miss South Carolina.
Yes.
Yeah.
Love her.
Yeah, a lot of big things
A lot of
happening on our
things
they're
podcast.
both they're both on my Go Red team.
Oh, nice. Oh, yeah. Let's
American
talk about
Heart
that.
Association.
Yeah.
Let's talk about
if
that.
I can plug that.
So you
Thanks,
are a
ladies.
woman of impact for the
Yeah.
American Heart Association. Tell us
Yes.
about that. How do people get involved? Help you out?
Co-nominated with my friend Beth Iser. We served on a team last year for Lauren Truslow, who ended up winning.
Nice.
So this is a campaign that the American Heart Association does every year. It starts during February which is Heart Month, and it goes through April. So we as nominees are charged with raising as much awareness and funds as we can through April 4th. And so we build a team of women who like get on board and they help use their networks and their circles. And like we're doing a free fitness series called Cardio Cares. and partnering with a bunch of different local boutique fitness studios to offer a free with donation class.
Sweet.
We're doing like a percent night for the girls at Zaz on Divine.
Nice.
Wine Wednesday. If you haven't been, it's fabulous. We're gonna do a beers and bingo night at Craft and Draft. Tara Monroe, one of the owners' wife, is on our team. Jada Samuel is on our team. So we basically
big bingo players.
Listen, bingo night is apparently a big hit.
Yeah.
I loved bingo as a kid.
Yeah.
My mom did it a lot.
I just
and
love
grandma.
the dabber. You know how do they still have dabbers?
Like the little
The ink
Yeah,
thing.
it's not a stamp; it's a big
Yeah.
ink thing. Yeah,
Yeah. We'll
Just make
have
a
one
mess
with your
with
name
that.
on it.
that would be cool.
When you
Our
guys
guy, well,
come.
can guys
Branded.
come? See, that's the thing.
Yeah,
A lot of
we're
the
not
stuff-
invited to stuff.
No, like
The
so
fitness
that's why we
things-
wanted to do Craft and Draft in particular is because like
Guys and girls.
yeah, to
Mhm.
show kind of a more male-centered business supporting this Go Red for Women cause. Because so kind of the big purpose behind the cause is that heart disease is the #1 killer of women.
Yeah.
But most women don't know that.
Right.
And also most women serve as caretakers for their family and are so busy taking care of themselves that they don't think about their own health.
Mhm.
Then there's a bunch of other stats. One of the big ones for me is that women are less likely to receive bystander CPR, which I didn't know until this year.
Talk us through that.
So,
How did they come to that statistic?
I mean, the reason why is
That's
because
wild.
Yeah.
right.
If that's true.
No,
It's because guys don't want to get it. It's
They
because
don't-
guys are
I would
nervous
think
to
they're
do
opposite.
it.
nervous. They're nervous to touch
Yeah,
women.
that's
Yeah.
what I was
And-
gonna
and
say.
hurt
Oh
them.
God. I
Yeah.
would dive
It's a
right in there.
lawsuit.
I thought it would be the
I
opposite.
mean, it would for sure go through my head. Like, this
Yeah.
could be a lawsuit.
Oh.
Right.
Yeah.
But it's a really sad fact. And the reason that really stuck with me is because my granddad had a heart attack November of 2022,
Mhm.
where he went over 36 minutes without a heartbeat.
Oh my goodness.
And he had 2 women perform bystander CPR on him.
Mhm.
And that's the only reason that
He
he's
made it?
alive.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
For sure. And he has memory and strength. Like they gave him a less than 10% chance of survival and said that even if he did survive, like brain
Wasn't gonna be good,
function,
yeah.
would be minimal. And I mean, he is a miracle. Like
That is
there's no
crazy.
doubt.
36 minutes. They
It's a-
must have been in good shape to do CPR for that long.
Oh, well, they didn't do it for that long, but they did it for probably up to 10 minutes while the
Until
ER
they got
was.
there.
But then he wasn't like revived with
With the jumpers.
jumpers. So
Mm.
then they had to take him to the nearest hospital and they couldn't get him there. And then he was helicoptered to Asheville. So that's where
Wow.
it was crazy. And so I started learning about CPR and how if you get good CPR quickly, whenever you have a heart attack outside of a hospital, it can double to triple your chances of survival. So it's really important, but most people are afraid to do it because they're just like, they're
Like,
afraid
you'll
to do
mess
it.
something up. Or
yeah.
Yeah.
When the truth is like anything helps.
Yeah.
Like,
For sure.
So for listeners, I always remember like they just taught us like do the Staying Alive song in your head, like
Mhm.
bum, bum,
Yep.
bum, bum, staying alive.
Yep.
And you just do that. Just keep
You're
going.
just
Yep.
jamming out in your
Push
head.
is
giving
hard.
it CPR.
you just tell somebody play it.
Yeah.
Play this.
Hang on, let me get my Spotify out. I think they changed it too, because I always learned you have to do the 2 breaths and then
Yeah.
the CPR. And then they changed it and said you're not doing the breaths anymore.
yeah, we just talked about this actually at one of our, so at all of our events, which I hope that you guys come, and we'd love to see some men at these fitness
We'll
classes.
come to the beer one. Oh, the
Um,
fitness ones. Yeah.
Is it all
Yeah.
Pilates? Because
No.
that's tough.
We're
on
not good
Tom.
at that.
I'm
I can't.
good. I'm great at
I'm
it.
bad. I'm really rough at that.
We're gonna do a hot works day. You guys might like that.
Oh yeah.
yeah.
We just had at Tara
Tara.
John's. Which one's
Um,
that down? Divine? No.
The Divine
I'm gonna
one.
mess it up.
We're gonna
It's
mess it
out
up.
today.
I think it's
I mean,
the West
Columbia
Go
Columbia
listen
one.
to the show.
Anyhow, so we were just talking about the CPR thing and how they changed it to get rid of the breath thing for like bystanders, mostly because it was just
A lot of germs.
confusing. Yeah, and
a lot of germs.
it was
It's
like
so
at the
weird.
end of the day, just like don't like. I think that first responders may still do the breath piece, but
Yeah.
like just push hard and fast and follow that beat and like that. They were just trying to make it as simple as possible.
Is that why they changed it?
That's
to
what I was
simplify
told.
it? That-
Yeah,
Well,
Yeah.
it's kind of interesting though.
I'm
like,
not
does it?
It seems
Well,
like you
it's
would
like-
need oxygen though.
Well, it's just
Like
funny.
you're just
Like, how did
pumping
they
around unoxygenated blood for
How did they test
30
it too?
minutes?
Like, just like, hey, let's just get rid of this, and it still
Let's
works.
see what happens.
Like the numbers still work.
Have you ever seen The Sandlot?
yeah.
It's one of my favorite scenes. I
You
just
haven't
watched
seen
it. Yeah, have you seen The
Not
Sandlot?
growing up in London.
Oh, one of my favorite scenes is when
Wendy
Wendy
Peppercorn.
Peppercorn has to save what's his name?
Squints.
Squints fakes so that he's like an 8-year-old kid, but he fakes drowning in the pool. And then she pulls him out and she's doing like CPR and mouth to mouth. And then all of a sudden she comes up and like listens to him and then he winks at his friends.
Yeah.
And then she goes down to give him mouth to mouth and he grabs her and he's like, I got banned from the pool forever that day.
Yeah.
But okay, so back to women don't get CPR as often as men if they have a heart attack.
Yes,
Because they don't know that they're having a heart attack, maybe.
Because it's because people are afraid to touch them.
Afraid to touch women.
Yeah. There is a stat behind it, and I don't know the exact number off the top of my head, but because of that, women are 44%. It's around 44% less likely to survive
That's
a
crazy.
heart attack outside of the hospital.
Yeah, I can get on board with all of it. This is cool because usually the Heart Association stuff is just let's raise a whole bunch of money, give it to the drug companies, and pump people more full of drugs.
Yeah.
But I love the CPR stuff. I love that you're doing the fitness stuff with it.
No,
Yeah,
I
it's
mean,
exciting.
something that they are really, a few things that they've been telling us that, so all the money that we raise, even though it's a national organization, is going to go back to efforts here locally in the Midlands. And so some of the things that they are working on actively is like getting AEDs, which is automatic defibrillators in all of the schools. I didn't realize this,
They
but
don't
like
have that?
it's not a requirement in South Carolina, which it is in most states.
That's
so
weird.
that's a big thing that they're trying to do and push for. And then like even like access to food, healthy food is something that you wouldn't think that the American Heart Association is working on, but it's like healthy food and healthy choices can prevent heart disease. So they're doing more than just maybe what you might think.
That's cool. Yeah. And for so long it was the pyramid. There was a big did you ever see the Simpsons thing where they had the food pyramid? And they had all of what it is, and they're like, everybody's dying. What's happening? And then somebody takes it and flips it completely upside down, and then everybody starts getting saved. And it was because they had just like loads of the original one had.
It was all carbs
we get
and
older.
sugar,
Yeah, it was just breads,
At
carbs,
the very
sugar.
bottom.
Milk was a big part of it. And then
Yeah.
there was sugar on it was the worst food pyramid you could ever imagine.
No, I remember that.
Yeah, but it's cool that they're moving into the nutrition. I think people want that. I think people want the nutrition stuff, the fitness stuff. I mean, I love the idea of the CPR stuff.
Yeah.
The defibrillators, I feel like that would be intimidating.
So
yeah, I was going to say that because I feel like there's those that have it. I think, again, training is the next part of that. The people are not trained on how to use it. So even where there are machines, people don't know how to use them.
Right.
Well, and another thing that's not regulated is that they don't have to have signs for them. So oftentimes places might have them, but if you don't know where it is, then it's not going to be as helpful. But we actually did in our last class. So they brought out these little, like, they're kind of like the size of this table, dummies. That you can practice on. So we had like one per every 2 people. And then they also walked through the AED thing. And apparently like they're actually very easy to use.
Yeah.
Like you put it on the skin, and then if there's no like electricity in the body, then it will go. And if the body doesn't need it, it won't go.
So you don't even have to press a thing anymore. It'll
like
detect it or
it
sense
takes
it.
you like, it's like 3 steps, and it's on every machine, and they literally have made it as easy as possible. Like, but we have to talk about that because
For sure.
I didn't know that before 2 weeks ago.
No, you would have been in there rubbing them together and screaming clear.
Can you imagine? No, but no, we're excited. Honored to kind of be a part of it and to help get, like, I've learned so much. And I think that education side of it is so important because the more that we talk about it, the more that people know, and the more that we can get past those fears and that type of thing, because it really can save a life. I mean, hopefully we're not in that position, but I've seen it save a life.
Yeah.
How do they become part of it, or how do they sign up? How do they donate? What do they have to do?
Well, we have a donation page. And there's the link in my bio. I can share the link with you guys.
Sure.
Yeah.
And then as far as like our different events, we've been kind of putting them out on social media. We basically have a fitness class once a week through April 4th.
Where can you?
We're doing Pure Bar on Sunday.
And people just show up for a donation. Don't have to be members.
You don't have to be a member. You need to sign up online, but like, that sign up is free. So every studio that's participating, they're taking away like any everything that you need. Like,
Sweet.
yeah. So you just sign up online and then you come in and then you donate while you're there. So we're doing Pure Bar, and then we're doing Beats Bar Studio, the new fitness studio that opened up on Gervais Street.
I don't know that one. Beats?
It's like all
Oh.
pink. I've seen it.
Yeah.
It's all pink.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's pretty sweet.
And disco
Yeah.
and sparkles.
Really?
Yeah.
What are you going to wear to that one?
Well, I'm trying to wear red to all of them.
Okay.
Go red.
I love that.
Smart.
But maybe I'll wear pink and red to that one.
Okay.
We'll see. We're doing
Beats.
Hot Works. We're doing Level, the new Forest Acres.
Yeah.
Pilates
she's-
studio. Yeah.
Anna's coming on the show soon.
Oh, good. And then we're doing Cycle Bar, Forest Acres.
Nice.
Sweet.
What'd you guys do for Valentine's Day?
This is real bad. I was in Atlanta. I was hosting it was a lot. I was hosting an event in Atlanta, which is, I don't know how this came to be, but
What kind of event?
Yeah. Why
What
are you
is-
being so
Wait,
cryptic
is
about
this one of
everything?
your
on?
work?
No. So
She just gives us a breadcrumb
Yeah, we're
and
not
then gets
letting you off
really
the hook.
uncomfortable.
Like, we want to know now.
another group I'm in.
It was with a guy. There was a
were
guy that you
guys
were
there,
in. There was a guy that you
but-
were into that invited you to the.
No.
Oh.
So what happens is we've got a small group of friends, and I've become the organizer. So they'll say, "Hey, we want to go here." Like yesterday, it was, "We want to go to Nashville," and they're like, "Kaih, plan it." So
Oh,
what happened
the
was
friend travel
Yes.
agent. Got to have one in
So-
every group.
Yeah.
So yeah, we ended up in Atlanta, and it was a lot. We were there we didn't go for Valentine's. I went the 15th, but when you're organizing 20 to 30 people,
Ooh.
Valentine's didn't happen. There was just a lot of, okay, I need to make sure the hotels are booked and make sure that
Oh.
this is reserved and stuff. So,
So
yeah.
no real
No
romance was going on.
Yeah.
Really? You know where I thought you were going when you said that? I thought you were going to say organize like one of those like, what's the
Where are you
proper
going
way?
now?
Adult
Adult
parties.
adult toy party. And I was like, oh God, this was a weird question to start. Because you were like, well, I organized this event. And usually that's what it is. It's like you gather these women and like,
I don't know, that kind of
surprise.
event. But there was a lot of alcohol and there was a lot of games, and yeah, it was
Nice.
fun. It was
All right.
just a lot.
Ashley, anything wild?
Nothing wild. We just got some steaks and stuff from the old timey meat market and
Mhm.
cooked at home and watched a rom-com.
Which one? Did you watch
Nice
Valentine's
classic.
Day? on
No, we actually watched Upgraded. My husband found it, and it was I
Let's do
I
that.
really liked it. I hadn't even heard of it.
I haven't heard
Really?
of it.
I don't know that.
Back to the fitness classes.
Wait, She's All That. Do you know what my favorite rom com is? Is She's All That. Have you seen that?
That's
Oh
a good
yeah,
one.
it's a
Yeah, it's so
classic.
good.
Do you classify that as a rom-com though?
Sure.
I mean, if that's not a rom com, I don't
He's
know what a
watching
rom com
stuff.
is.
Can guys come to all the fitness classes?
Yes,
They're all available to open
One-
to guys.
100%. Yes.
Now, I just want to make sure we clarify that. How do
Good
so
question.
people and then for core for the crash course, since that's
Mhm.
happening March 7th and 8th.
So soon.
Yes. So we need to get people signed up. That they would go to, is Instagram probably the best method to get signed up, or where do they go?
Whichever is the most comfortable for them. They can go through Instagram, they can go through Facebook, they can go to the website, and it's going to take them all to the same page where they can register, sign up, and they will get an email from us saying, "We will see you on the 7th and the 8th."
Okay.
Yeah.
And what if somebody can't make the entire thing? Would you just wait for the next one?
It's really up to them. I mean, we've had people who have still come along and had to like leave a little early. Obviously, for us, we would love them to stay for the entire time to get the full experience.
Mhm.
We've also had people who have signed up and then not been able to come, and then they've come on the next tour.
Yeah.
So we will always work with them to the best of their ability to make it work for them. But
Yeah.
ultimately, we want to give them the best experience.
Yeah, I'm
possible.
just thinking more for like Tom, who works constantly.
Yeah.
Thursday night by 7:30, you're probably
I
still
got-
working.
Yeah. There's no way I can make
We
it.
have-
Yeah. But Friday.
Yeah, like people
Like, let's say you couldn't make the
miss
Thursday,
Thursday.
but you could make the Friday morning.
We have a lot of people who do that. We like to think that Thursday is what we deem as just like an informal meet and greet.
Registration, like kind of,
It's not even registration. I just think we're trying to get the uncomfortableness out of the way.
Yeah.
Because you're going to be with 25 people for the day. And like we just spoke about, people get very awkward when meeting new people. So really it just kind of takes the formality out of it and allows them to kind of connect before the big day and make some, informal connections.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, because there's no bus on Thursday.
No.
There's
Right.
just bus Friday morning.
Yes.
That way, when you're getting on the bus, you're not
Here
like,
it is.
Yeah.
oh,
I
because
don't know anybody.
when
Oh,
we
right.
started this,
Yeah.
we actually tried. So the very first version of the itinerary started at
1.0.
8:30 or 9 on Friday and went until like 10 p.m. on Friday.
Oh.
It was wild. And because we wanted to have dinner as part of it. I just feel like you get in more deep conversations over
Right.
dinner.
Mhm.
And that's, we have so many great restaurants. So anyway, we learned that maybe people don't want to spend 13 hours with us. And so we made that adjustment. And so that like people are more comfortable when they're starting on Friday morning. And then if you had to jump out during the day, like you could Uber back to your car. But we do try to finish by 3:00 on Friday so that we kind of give you your Friday afternoon. That was also a change over the years. I mean, we seriously wanted this to be like a 2-day, 1-night, overnight, like camp experience when we first started.
Yep.
And the board had to like reel us in. They were like, whoa, guys, like
You guys are planning
Perfect
sleepovers
strangers.
already. Like,
this is too much.
married at first sight.
Right. Like they were like, people have families. We were like, what? We were like, well, how are we going to go to the lake if we don't have 3 days? And they were like, maybe we need to reel it in.
Now, Randy really has one good outfit. So on a 2-day event, can he wear the same thing twice? And then what?
I
What do
might
you
skip the Thursday because I'm nervous about my outfit.
Yeah, he's really particular in what he should wear.
Well,
So
5:30 on Thursday, you don't really know what to wear.
like
You
is
kind of want to look
Straight
like
from
you're coming.
work,
Yeah,
yeah.
you want to look like you're coming right from work.
this- yeah, like I didn't have time to change.
Yeah.
Type of thing. Even
Yeah.
though the whole day,
The whole day
You
I'm
didn't
just
do
changing
anything.
into different outfits. What looks like I was just working.
What should people wear? Is it pretty informal? Like you don't want
Yeah.
him showing up in a suit.
You want to
and
do your
tie.
hair.
Yeah, we tell them to come comfortable because ultimately we're going to be off and off the bus, rain or shine. So we always tell them to prepare. Obviously, we have the bus, so we're taking you from location to location, but we want you to be comfortable because the whole point is you're going to come and experience Columbia. We want you to be the most comfortable you can be.
Yeah.
So,
Like
yeah.
if you wanted to plan your most fly outfit, I would say for Thursday because
Wow.
you're not walking,
He didn't
Yeah.
think
you
of.
know.
He would.
Like
Okay.
Friday, like dress down, like tennis shoes.
Yes.
Probably like a hat.
jeans.
Yeah, like a hat.
Yeah, hat. Like
Maybe a tank top for you.
I don't know if Smoked would like that.
if you guys have any like swag,
Yeah.
you can wear like a swag
Nice.
Like a
Yeah.
chain.
t-shirt.
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 With the brand.
Chain.
Yeah.
The brand. Brand swag.
Here for the health of it
Yeah.
t-shirts.
Actually,
What
we
do you-
haven't made them yet. We need somebody to help us make t-shirts.
Yeah,
That
we
is-
need brand.
Oh.
Yeah, that
like
would
we
be
have a
cool.
pretty sweet logo now. We just haven't
yeah.
put it on anything. So
What do you think's in for guys right now? I always just like to get a little fashion.
clothing wise,
Tidbit. Yeah.
I know. I actually have been waiting for you to
Yeah.
ask.
You
this.
have?
Yeah,
How
I've
did you
listened
know?
to a
She
few of the
oh.
dude,
podcasts,
she brought
and you.
sample clothes out, rolled in a
Saw
closet.
some video. That color you wore last time, not good.
I just feel like in the other episodes I listen to, you guys always talk about.
I did.
fashion.
Well, I get such a hard
He's-
time. I asked
Yeah.
Emily from
Really?
Tastiest Fit. Oh,
Yeah.
and he's just been
I
talking
was
about
like,
it.
where did it?
He's like, it's so weird to ask someone that.
We're talking
And I'm
about like
"What?" I
nutrition.
think, yeah.
He's like, so tell me about men's fashion. She's like, okay.
I remember.
I was like, turns out I'm bored right now. Let's change the subject to something about me.
So what do you think?
But yeah, tell me.
I feel like a nice t-shirt sport coat for this guy.
Yeah.
That.
I feel like the cool thing is about fashion generally is just that it's gotten so much more casual
Yeah.
Mhm.
since 2020, really.
Yes.
But even before that, it was like starting to get more casual. I mean, when I was growing up, I was like, one day I'm going to be wearing a suit every day and have a ton of blazers and like, wearing heels every day and all this
Yeah.
kind of stuff. And now I'm like, oh, thank God that that's not
I
what
know.
I'm doing.
Yeah.
But
Same
you're
with our
wearing
world.
heels and a blazer right
I
now.
am
Just
wearing-
for-
actually,
just to
Just for
point that out.
clarity, she does still
But
have
then I
all of
was
that.
thinking like blazers have made a comeback, but they're like more comfortable.
yeah, I was gonna say they're more
blazers.
casual.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like more loose fitting than.
Is there
Yeah.
a certain color palette you recommend for him?
And should I
Like-
wear button? I don't like tucking my shirt in that much, but I
Okay.
feel like I constantly have to.
Yeah, but they've also like got the shirts that are specifically made so
Yeah.
you don't have to tuck
Untuck
those
it.
I
in
know.
now.
Yes.
So-
I'm mentally trying to get myself out of thinking I have to tuck in.
Yeah.
I feel like I love neutrals always. Like I
Mhm.
like the cream that you have on.
Thank you.
I'm wearing cream.
But how many
Yeah.
buttons do I have? Is that the right number of buttons undone?
He would like to undo 2
I
more.
would normally do.
And it's only a 3 button.
I feel like it depends on what time of day. Like at 8 a.m.
Right.
you start with
Oh,
one
yeah.
button
One,
undone.
and
What
then
time
just
is
kinda
it now?
Now
Casually.
you just go ahead and unbutton.
We'll set alarms in your phone to just unbutton.
And then by the time dinner comes around, you're at
All
home with your
three.
wife. You're like all 3 are
Yeah.
unbuttoned.
See, I thought you was gonna say completely off by that
Oh.
point, but
It reminds me, like we were in college. We were at college. We used to do bowling events. Like we were part of a big club,
Yeah.
and we do like guys versus girls. I remember one, and there was drinking involved. One time, Randy just like leans over to me and whispers, "Let me know when it's time to take our shirts off." In a bowling alley.
That's true. I did. And I
And then we
did. Did
did.
you tell me when?
We did, yeah.
Yeah, and then we did.
Did you
Yeah.
have
we
shirts
did. It
on
was-
underneath?
No.
No.
It was we were.
I went through a
shirtless.
phase in my early 20s where I just took my shirt off.
And
For
you're
no reason.
and you advocate for women to date men in the early 20s?
Here's
See?
the thing.
Ah, see?
Here's
Yeah.
and this is my point is that's when my wife locked me in, and she had to
it was
put
a
up with
gamble.
she had to put up
Yes.
with 10 years of stuff like that until
Okay.
when she when she first met me. I was like covered in I brought like warp. It was after a hockey game. We had like a big hockey game, and then all the players would go to this bar called Boozy's. And it was a kilt night, so everybody was wearing kilts. And then I for some reason bought like war paint, and I was just covered in paint everywhere. It was
Sweaty,
all over
wearing
everything.
a wig.
Yep. And then I guess she
It
just
doesn't
dealt with
sound
me
like
for the
you
rest.
need fashion advice.
Yeah, no.
Like
I know. I mean, I wore some weird stuff.
you locked in.
I'm getting better.
I was gonna say like blues and greens. I think would be
Yeah,
nice.
I would
Yeah.
say
to-
blue.
Greens match my eyes, but
Yeah.
blues I like. Blues easier to match.
Yeah.
I feel
I
like
have a
a
hard
light
time.
blue.
Light blue.
Yeah.
I have a lot of light. Actually, we had a period where I'd say this is too much blue.
It was too much. He did too much blue one time. Whereas like everything matched kind of in the blue category. It was like, no.
It was,
too
yeah,
much.
it was this big. It was like this big. We were working with this lawyer on some of these big cases, and it was kind of like a meet and greet. And then I just walked in, and I was like, I'm head to toe blue.
Yeah.
My shoes were blue. My pants were blue. My belt was blue. My shirt, everything was blue, but not the same shade of blue.
He wakes up and like he looks in the mirror or like he'll put an outfit. He sometimes can feel like I don't know if this was right, but I'm gonna roll the dice and go with it. And it just
sometimes
it hits.
Yeah, and I'll literally just walk in like, does this work?
He doesn't
And
know.
sometimes
He
my
literally
staff will
doesn't
look,
know.
My staff will look and be like, oh no.
Yeah.
How
Not
long
good.
have you guys known each other?
2006.
2000, yeah,
Yeah.
2006.
Wow.
Yeah, we were separated for 8 years. We separated.
Distant.
He moved to
Yep.
or he's in Canada. That's where he had his office.
Yeah.
And then moved here in 2018.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
you had said you'd only been here for 5 years.
5
Right.
years, yes.
Yeah.
But we spent, I
Yeah.
mean, in chiropractic school, and my wife was in our class too, but you just spend 40 to 50 hours a week,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, I'd
at
see him
all
at
times
seminars and
together.
all that stuff.
Yep.
So last question I had was just for the nonprofit. Who started the nonprofit? Like who came up with the whole concept and when did it start? And
It's a great question,
Yeah.
actually. Okay. So CORE was founded, I think it was now 18 years ago.
oh wow,
By now Mayor Daniel Rickaman and then
No way.
Danny
Then-
R's behind this?
Wow.
Yeah.
Mhm.
When he was a council person and councilwoman Tamika Isaac Devine. So they
He was wanting to meet guys at Divine. What did you say?
No, Tamika Isaac. That's the name of the councilwoman.
Yes.
to
That's
me.
a little bit- Definitely not
Like-
to
heard
meet
that was
I
guys.
heard that so wrong. I was like, to meet guys on Divine.
You We're like,
came up
that
with this
is why this
concept?
started, was so that
So
guys could meet each other.
Wow.
He's definitely not sharing that kind
No.
of busy. I don't-
We've had to turn him down from coming on the show, and now for
He's
sure
just been
he's
harassing us
not-
about
he wants
coming
to
on the
get
show.
on here
and we
so
told
bad.
him no.
He loves a podcast. I'm sure you guys have listened. He does a great
Yeah.
job.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
You guys
Yeah.
it would be very entertaining
Yeah,
to
tell
listen
him.
to you guys.
Tell him if he
I
wants to come on
will.
our show, we'll consider it.
I don't know.
No,
how
we've
he
only
does it.
asked. I think we've like DM'd him a bunch, like come on the show. We just get nothing. We get crickets, and we're like, Danny,
I'll mention it.
I
to
know
his
he's
people.
He's probably
He's
listening to this right now.
Yeah.
He's not busy.
No, he doesn't have anything else to do. He founded
Busy.
he founded
He brought-
something
he
18
founded
years
Core.
ago, and
Yeah,
what
yeah.
since?
Yeah, basically they saw a similar nonprofit happening in other cities, and actually when he comes on, you should have him tell the story because it's
Yes.
really fun to hear him say it.
Yeah.
But they went and traveled to a few of the other cities and basically mirrored this off of that.
Ah,
And Table for Six, which is a program that is still alive and going, like they started way back
Sweet.
18 years ago. So we're just carrying the
Keep it
torch.
going.
Well, yeah. What is that, real quick? What is Table for Six,
So
and why 6?
Good question.
6? I'm
Good
not
point.
sure.
Well, I
it's-
can.
Go ahead.
Well, no, you go ahead.
I was gonna say, so the concept of Table for Six, and we're kind of playing into that with our other TR program this year,
Yeah.
is really just about being able to get people around the table to connect and talk. So basically, we're hosting a dinner
Mhm.
to kind of get people around the table to sit together, and there'll be different categories. Like one of our recent favorite ones was the mayors of Columbia, and we got them together. You got to basically buy a ticket to sit with one of the mayors and ask them any questions.
Oh, like
that
at
you want.
your hexagon with the 6 sides.
It's, so there's 6 people at your
There's 6
table.
people.
One of the
Table.
mayors,
Oh.
are you saying?
Yeah.
Yeah,
The
like
mayors
of
Of
the
Columbia.
region.
of this.
Of
like,
all of the different
um,
regions of Columbia. The
Mayor
different
Parton
districts.
from KC was there. Lexington
Oh,
Mayor was
Mhm.
there.
okay, I
Irma
see.
Mayor.
That'd
Yeah.
be cool. Yeah.
Everybody was there.
Cool.
And we have Table for Six next week.
To meet the chiropractors of Columbia.
Definitely should do that one.
Yeah.
It's just
We're
a hot
doing-
That
idea.
would be.
Everybody wants to meet the chiropractors.
We're doing young execs next week. So
We're doing what?
young execs.
Young execs.
Young execs.
Yes.
Mhm.
So again, you get the opportunity to buy a seat at a table, talking to people who are really up and coming in Columbia and starting businesses who I think we originally started with under 35, but now we just went with the young because we just recognize that people really are making a difference here. So we just want people to get opportunity to maybe get ideas about how they do that themselves. So
Right.
yeah.
It's
And
a
you can ask
really-
anything.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like that. It's a really great event to kind of like gain access
Mhm.
on a more personal level with high powered people who you normally would like
Yep.
see at a networking event and be like, "Hi, my name's Ashley.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
nice to meet you." And then like they'd be moved on because they're super
Yep.
important.
Yeah.
Like my first core event was a Table for Six, and I got to sit at Melanie Huggins from Richland Library's table, and like I'll never forget it because I mean I just felt like I walked away and I was like fresh out of college basically, and I was like, wow, this woman is so incredible, and like she knows my name, and like we knew, like you leave Table for Six knowing more about the people at your table and your leader, whoever it is, whatever theme, than you would at any typical networking event. So just like we
Yeah.
were saying with Crash Course, like when you get to share a meal,
Yeah.
I just feel like you get to delve deeper.
That's cool.
And that's one of the reasons why this year we're trying to incorporate that into our other talent retention program, Capture. And our kickoff is a Table for Six type of event. So Capture is geared at college age students. It's
Mhm.
absolutely free.
Mhm.
They get to come and spend 5 weeks with us. And it's kind of like a mini crash course. We're taking them around Columbia over 5 weeks. And we're putting them in the room with movers and shakers.
Sweet.
People who can really make a difference for their career. We're really trying to show them why they should stay here in Columbia.
Yeah.
And this opportunity for us really changing the way that we look at Capture this year, we were like, okay, we are seeing that making connections is making such a big difference to our Crash Course alumni. We really want to create that space for our students, our college age students. And so we're going to put some, leaders from all over different walks of life and careers in the room to be able to sit at a table and really make a difference. So we're already seeing like people volunteering. I've got people reaching out to me volunteering to kind of sit at a table because they want to be part of that change. They want to be part of
That's cool.
encouraging
You guys
students
should
to
come.
stay here.
Yeah.
Sounds
So
fun.
if you want a table,
Yeah.
Who's
let
is
us
there?
know.
Is there any big name execs coming next week, or do you know any off the top of your head?
I
I'm
don't
trying to
know
think
the
who
list
an
of who's-
exec would be. I can't picture.
Sam Johnson from Civit.
I'm trying to think of
We have
who else.
Shivani Patel.
Yes.
Oh, Shivani. Dude,
Shivani.
Shivani's on Monday. So that's my dentist. She's
Yeah,
she's on the
she's
show
coming
on Monday.
Yeah.
She's everywhere.
She
everywhere.
literally
We
is
I
love
like-
can't keep
Shivani.
up with her.
I literally, like, if I'm on Instagram and I'm flipping through something and I'm like, oh, that's cool. She's already liked it. Or like she already follows this person or follow
Yeah.
like, and she follows like 6,000 people, which I'm going to ask her about that next week. So,
Get to the bottom of
yeah,
this.
I'm going to get to the bottom of what's going on there. But
We
yeah,
have
she's great.
Amy Beth Franks from Gourmet Shop.
Yeah.
Kelsey Caskey from Spruce Strategies and
Nice.
Hotworks. Divine. I don't know why I can't think of some of the
So
names
you-
I
off
know.
the
So,
top.
I mean,
So the
Cash
thought
Crush,
is
right?
they just sit at the table, or are they like doing a speaking event and then like going to the table, or is it more just table and
Yeah,
personal?
for Table for Six, they're sitting at the table. We have a networking space, so they can kind of speak to those, and the kind of similar to what we're going to be doing for Crash Capture is giving them really just giving them free reign, because
Yeah.
I think that's the key. You don't want to put any restrictions on that conversations. You want it to be organic and for
Yeah.
it to flow. So I think that's the piece that's important, but also give them space away from the table to kind of connect as well.
Right.
So kind of just allowing that to kind of happen organically.
So it's
Yeah,
like
that'd be cool.
first 30, 45 minutes
Mhm.
mingling, and then you sit down at your table, the food comes out.
Eat and talk. And
Yeah.
Mhm.
Do you get to
Drinks
rotate? Like
included.
say somebody gets stuck with Randy and they're like, oh my God, I wish I picked Kelsey.
This guy keeps talking to me constantly.
This guy's asking me about fashion and I'm here to learn from him.
No, you are at your table.
Mhm.
So it's
Um,
kind of a race to how do you get to choose the seat?
You buy your ticket.
First come,
with
first
the-
serve.
And
Yeah.
then
Oh,
you
and you
get to
choose
choose.
the exact-
Yes, you choose
Oh.
what table you want
Oh,
to
when
sit
you
at.
buy it.
Yes.
Oh,
Mhm.
nice.
Yes.
I like that.
Yeah.
Okay.
So when you guys come on, like y'all's
Yeah.
tickets will probably be the first
Oh, yeah,
sold
God, yeah.
out.
Yeah.
Let's
Yep.
get us on there. Could we share a table? We kind of come as a package.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It can be a table for 7. Like we could still have 5
Mhm.
Oh, that'd be fun.
other
Mhm.
people
That's a
there.
good number for
Yeah.
us.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yep. All right.
That's a biblical number. I think 7's a biblical number, and I think 40 is a biblical number. My wife thinks 3 is a biblical number.
I love 3, 5,
The
and 7.
Trinity.
Do you agree with 3
Well, the
as a
Trinity-
biblical number?
The Trinity.
Yeah.
Father, Son.
Yeah,
well, yeah,
I would
but
say the
it's
Trinity.
but yeah, but
Yeah.
the 3, it's not. It's,
Pretty biblical.
it's too low to be that, because you could also say 2.
You could
Okay.
say 12.
You could say
You
1.
could say
Yeah, 12 I would agree with.
any
Yeah,
number.
I like 12.
That's why numerology is works for
Exactly.
Good point.
everything.
Maybe they all work.
Yeah, we like what you're doing with a table of 6. We're gonna do 7. All right, cool.
Okay, yeah, that was
Well,
great.
let's-
Thanks for being on here.
Let's
tell
hit
us
the,
all
uh,
the
yeah.
yeah,
yeah,
Instagrams, websites, all that good stuff.
Yeah. Follow us on our.core, our.cor, and then Crash Course Cola on Instagram, Facebook, everything. And then our student program, the internship program, is at Capture Columbia. So, and registration's open for that. Tickets are on sale for Crash Course Columbia. And if you go to ourcore.org, that's our website, like our events calendar, I mean, we're doing 2 to 3 events per month.
Yeah.
We have volunteer opportunities always coming up. We have free mixers. We have core connections, which are members only events where we go, like last time we went, we've done behind the scenes at the Koger, or, we're going to like a new venue, or you're doing something kind of a little bit special and,
Yes.
and intimate. So
Yeah.
if you go to our website, I mean, we're constantly updating
Updating it.
that,
Yeah.
Nice.
Instagram,
Yeah.
Yes.
all of that.
Kai,
good
do you
stuff.
drink tea? I did want to squeeze one last thing in.
I do, and I'm very bougie about my tea
Are
too.
you?
I am.
What do you have a time of day that you're like, it's tea time?
Not tea time, but I feel like Brits drink tea like Americans drink coffee.
Gotcha.
So it can be any time of the day.
What's your go-to? Yeah, like where are you getting tea from? Are you shipping
Yeah.
I ship it, or
it? No way.
or there are some local
Spots?
British stores.
Do you want to tell the people or no? You want to keep it to yourself?
It depends. I mean, it depends on what tea you want. So I'm a PG tips girl. So I can pick that up at Publix. But if I really see this, I'm saying I'm going to sound so bad. In my head, the Publix PG tips is not authentic, and I'm
yeah.
like, I need to go to the British store to get it because it tastes different, even though it probably
Right.
tastes exactly the same.
It might be
But
true.
in my head,
Yeah.
it
Yeah.
tastes
No, I bet
different.
it's true.
So
Is there anywhere? Oh,
Yeah.
sorry.
No, go ahead.
Is there anywhere like locally that you can get a
Like a
good
nice-
tea service, like a high proper tea?
And with a pinky.
Yeah.
And a
So
crumpet.
Or should we make one?
Ridgeway have a tea shop.
Yeah.
That seems crazy
Just
that
up-
Ridgeway
yeah,
has that.
Really?
Yeah. They
That-
really do.
Oh, there's
I
this
wasn't
little
seeing that
town
coming.
with 50 people around in the middle of nowhere. They have it.
They do it. So also on West Columbia Way near the market,
Mhm.
they have a tea shop. But again, it depends on your tea drinking. I feel like the place in Ridgeway is more authentic. And again, depending on who you are, I'm a black tea. Some people drink Earl Grey. So if you're an Earl Grey person, then West Columbia is probably your cup of tea.
Okay.
I'm
Mm.
more a English black tea, so that's why Ridgeway for me is better. So,
I love that.
but they have
Yeah.
like the full set. You can do a full English tea seating with the little, sandwiches and everything.
Let's go.
What
Yeah.
do you put in the tea? Anything?
I'm a milk and sugar,
Oh,
but I'm trying to convert to honey, but it just doesn't taste the
doesn't
same.
do it.
Mm.
Doesn't taste the same.
Yeah.
I think anybody who puts sugar in coffee or
Uh-oh.
tea doesn't like coffee or tea. They just like
See,
sugar.
it's weird.
That's
I
my
put
that's
sugar
my
in-
stance.
Or honey. Yeah.
Right,
But I
which I think
actually
you
don't
like
love
co-
coffee that much.
That's my point. Like people are like, oh, I love
Good point.
coffee, and then they just load it with sugar, and you're like,
Yeah.
well,
It's just sugar.
I just
Yeah.
downed a black coffee.
yeah, black
But
coffee
that's
is
creamer too. If they put like a lot of creamer so that you can only taste the creamer,
Right.
then you can't taste the
Right,
coffee.
for
So then
sure.
it's the same thing.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
all right.
Love
On
the
that,
tea, the tea on the tea.
thanks for being on the show.
Thanks so much, guys.
Thanks.
Here
We're here for the health of it.
for the health of it.